Friends, I'm Prairie Vintage Jewelry. My name is Linda. I am an energy reader here on YouTube, and I will use these cards to convey a message today from Spirit. We will be taking a look at your situation and why it's so effing complicated and what you can do, or at least what Spirit suggests you do. Of course, you can do whatever you'd like to do, but we'll see what Spirit comes up with. This could be around any topic that you are struggling with, or something that is just so complicated that you need some guidance or just want to burn some time on the internet, but you found me instead. All right, so take a look at these three piles, 1, 2, or 3, and the timestamps below in the description. You can select your pile and we will take it from there. See you in a bit. Hi, pile 1. If you selected this key and this tarot deck here, I will post the tarot decks below if you're interested in any of the decks we have here. But we will pull some tarot right after we just gauge with the oracle cards a little bit about your situation. So we will be taking a look at why is your situation so effing complicated. So it could be really around anything that is going on in your life right now, and Spirit will convey messages regarding maybe some further clarity, something that might be missing, or some guidance as to how to proceed in your situation. But we will ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for pile number 1. Thank you so much. Please protect pile number 1, and we want clear messages for their highest, greatest good. Pile number 1, I am so blessed and thankful for you allowing me to tap into your energy today. Thank you. Now we will get all the oracles first, so this might take a little bit. I don't know if Spirit's going to communicate messages to me while I'm shuffling, but feel free to skip ahead here while we set up your cards. So we have Sacred Gratitude, Reverent Appreciation Prayer. I got False Person. I should probably not put those there. Oops. Too many, Spirit. So the number 50, the number 8. Number 54 here with Skunk Spirit, Know Your Worth. And Wombat Spirit, Be at Home. And that one was coming reverse, and I do feel a reversal on that one, which is 68. I got Isolation. Hard to see this one on camera. All right. Some of you guys want to see the cards. Other of you guys just want the message. So I'm trying to cater here to everyone. Some of you guys don't like the shuffling. Some of you do. The animal. All right. Caching, 7, Mortification. One more here, Spirit, thank you so much. Oh, I do feel like we need these 3. I don't know where I'm going to put them, but thank you. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay. okay? I feel as though you guys are going through a really big transition right now, and for some of you guys, this might even be a dark night of the soul, or at least a period in your life where you are reflecting on who you are as an individual. You're feeling as though things just need to change, or at least you're feeling things change. You might not be seeing things the same way you saw things before. What Spirit is telling me is that you've been in a situation where you've outgrown your situation to the point where you're feeling like you're not being true to yourself. You have been stuck, or at least feel stuck in this situation that you've outgrown for a while. And the longer you're in this situation, the more isolated you're feeling. And I feel as though recently you guys have surrounded yourself in a world that allows you to reflect on who it is that you are as a person, and what it is that you're wanting to do with yourself, and what you're kind of grateful for. And I feel as though you're in a period right now where you're kind of preparing yourself for the next step in your life. And I am feeling from Spirit like these preparations have been ongoing for a while. But I'm also hearing from Spirit that you're afraid. And you're afraid to... I mean, it's scary. Anything that's different, usually there's an unknown. So unknowns could be scary. I feel as though you're at the point where Spirit is saying that this change is going to happen regardless if you are ready or not, even though Spirit is confirming that you are ready. For a lot of you guys, this is changing homes. This is changing your everything. As far as how you've been living in the last, for some of you guys, quite some time, I would say. It's a whole identity kind of shakeup, but you are getting closer to the core of who you are as an individual. And I do feel as though, even though I'm not really seeing a whole lot of spiritual cards here, I mean, aside from, you know, this angel here, I feel as though you guys are kind of guided by Spirit to make these changes so that you can live to your truest, authentic self. And I really feel as though in this world that you've created, there really isn't any other people. You're kind of alone as you work out your process, preparing for the next stage in your life. In fact, I feel as though you're not really even feeling at home in your home. You're kind of in a space of no man's land, I guess, if you were to call it something. So there is a sense of isolation. And I feel like for some of you guys, because of the fact that maybe you've been preparing for some time, that you feel almost like you have been living this false life, or at least you're kind of coming down really hard on yourself for potentially not following up on your calling, or what you feel as though would respond to this authentic calling of yourself. But I think you're learning to drop all that, and I really feel like with this mortification card, that everything that you've built up, as far as who you tell yourself you are, is just stripped away. Like everything is just going to be stripped away. Like this is all for the positive. So I'm not seeing here, you know, something that, like if you're not experiencing this or feeling this already, I would pick another pile. This isn't something that's going to like you know, be a tower moment that's just gonna flip your life completely upside down. I feel for a lot of you guys, you have had many eye-opening situations, especially in this world that I'm seeing over here, that has really driven a lot of this need to prepare yourself to move forward in your authentic self and be true to yourself. And the further you're kind of pulling away from your surroundings right now, the more you're not feeling at home. Like your outer world is not reflective of your inner world. I'm feeling like Spirit saying outer world, inner world aren't matching for you at this time. And I think it's getting really unbearable almost. So Spirit was confirming that all this preparation is great, but there is no more preparing. That Spirit is just kind of thrusting you into this transition. And I do feel as though this is something you want. So I think really what I'm feeling right now is a heaviness of why it hasn't moved forward, or I guess what is kind of holding you back. And I mean, I'm an outsider looking in, so all I can really see here is a fear of the unknown. But I'm feeling like this isolation is coming from like your current situation. So it could be, you know, because this is for the collective here. I'm feeling like there's a lot of change for one individual, like everything changing is what I mean. But for some of you guys, it could just be, you know, a complete change of career that you've dedicated your whole life to, or a complete change in, you know, moving out of country, or even, you know, a long-term relationship that you've been in, and moving forward with yourself. I just feel like there is this huge change of what it is that you actually desire, and preparing yourself to follow what it is that you want to do. I feel like there has been something that you are ignoring. Something to do with your home life that you're ignoring, that you're not wanting to admit to yourself to see, that you feel as though it is not authentic to yourself to either put up with or to continue fostering that type of environment for yourself. I feel like for a lot of you guys, it is where you're living specifically, like your home, maybe your country, but yeah, for a lot of you guys, it's your country. And I feel like maybe some of you guys have been looking at online countries, places to go, to kind of move forward with your life, like completely new and start anew. And I feel like it's giving you a sense of freedom, a sense of, like, I was sensing this fantasy, because it's almost like fantasy-like, being able to start yourself somewhere else, somewhere new. I am feeling this is a very spiritual decision that you're making. Because now I'm getting, like I said, I don't see so many spiritual cards here, but here we got with prayer even. I feel like you've been praying and really asking spirits to guide you and really leaning a lot on your faith to lead you to where you need to be. But I also feel as though with all this preparation, I feel like the preparation was kind of more of a, like it's always good to be prepared. I'm not saying not to be prepared, but I feel like the preparation and all the stages of the preparation was a way to not move forward in making a decision or pulling the trigger on this decision to, if it is move or finalize some decision. Because you really don't want to see the truth of a situation. I just feel you're not happy. You're really isolated right now in your environment. But I do feel like you're on the verge of this huge transition in your life. And I still feel like you're not 100% yet where you're going at all. But you know that your focus is to pull yourself out and go somewhere. And for some of you guys, you have maybe recently decided what it is that you want to do. But I feel as though that too is not in stone, that there's still more to come, that what you may be thinking of doing is going to change once you step forward in that direction. There's still more to come, Spirit's telling me. And it's been very difficult to move forward in the state of mind that you're in. Maybe some of you guys don't feel supported or isolated. And with this not addressing this concern that you have, or this issue, or this ongoing, just feel like you're kind of waiting more than taking charge here. So Spirit is saying that there will be this death of, you know, everything that no longer serves you kind of falling out for you, because that's Spirit's way of propelling you into the next stage. Yeah, I'm just getting, like, from the skunk spirit, like something that you loved, you're just not loving anymore. Something that meant something to you maybe, and you're just kind of not, you're not feeling the same way about, you know, living where you're living, or passionate about that job or that situation or that person or that thing. And it's just kind of starting to stink. Like it's just not, it's outworn its welcome. I feel like things are really, like, although they're, you don't know where you're going, or like certainties of how this is going to pan out, I feel like you're very determined and solid in what it is that you're wanting to do. But I just feel as though, you know, with this be at home wombat spirit in reverse, it's like you don't feel like you are in your settling place, or at least in a place that you want to hang your hat, that you want to be able to have that free spirit about you, that excitement, that passion that you've been not feeling in this current situation. And I feel like maybe you had a false start at this. Like, maybe you had an opportunity come to you to make the choice and you didn't take it. What I'm feeling for a lot of you guys, and maybe it was right at the last minute, you kind of changed your mind. And this now, I'm feeling like maybe this is part of this thing that you're ignoring, that you had a potential opportunity come to you to make this change, and then at the last minute you kind of flipped the script and kind of maybe, you know, shot yourself in the foot back to where you were again, or at least didn't pull the trigger. And so maybe some of you guys are feeling like you missed the boat, and will this come again, and am I going to figure this out? And you're kind of preparing for that opportunity to come again, or at least an opportunity to allow you to break free. And I feel from Spirit that this is coming, that either you're heavily just shedding your, you know, what you don't need right now in your life slowly. But I feel like the message louder than that yet is that you are, there's nothing more to shed as far as inside you, like that, like you can't unsee what you saw. You're now just aligning your outer world to match your inner world. And I feel like you've been preparing and preparing in such a way of things that you're probably not even going to be falling back on anyway. And so Spirit wants to remove this from you, you know, like, okay, you're prepared. Let's just ignore this for a second, and you're safe enough, and you're prepared enough, and you're strong enough, and Spirit has your back enough for you to allow yourself to take this opportunity. I feel like for a lot of you guys, it is a change of residence. Like as big as, like, you know, crossing the ocean type move. But it doesn't have to be. I mean, some people are very passionate about their careers, or about, you know, something in their life. I just feel like you've been really attached to, or that you had a lot of desire for, and maybe there's some guilt with that, because there was a lot of love, and there was a lot of passion, and there was a lot of excitement. And I'm picking up actually to go back to that opportunity that came, and then maybe you know, you passed up. And then I feel as though what Spirit was telling me is that that opportunity wasn't meant to happen. So for a lot of you guys, if that's what you need to let go, that was kind of a fake opportunity. It was kind of like a false start to get you, to trigger you to make these moves, and that this is the right time for you. And maybe somebody has kind of led you astray. I feel like maybe someone's got your ear right now that potentially you should not trust. Take that as it resonates. Whoever came into your mind, maybe the person, but I mean, I don't know for sure. But if you're not trusting someone, Spirit is saying, then listen to your intuition on that. And because I have an 8 here, that I'm thinking maybe August might be significant. Maybe someone you met in the summertime, late summer. Is that August? Yeah, that's August. Sorry, when I'm channeling, I can't count and I can't read for some reason. All right, so there's a lot here, and I got 2 more piles to do, so I'm going to pull some tarot. Yeah, if you're listening this far, then probably this is your pile. We'll take a look at what the tarot says here, and then some guidance from Spirit. So Spirit, thank you so much for pile number 1's message here regarding their effed up situation and what is going on. Can we get some more with the tarot here as far as what's going on in this situation, and if anything, what they can do? Thank you. I won't be doing any personal readings for the month of December. I'm just way too busy for December. but I will start back up mid-January as things kind of die down. So if you are interested in a private reading, feel free to send me an email. It's the best way to reach me. And my email is below. Also, if you're interested in jewelry for Christmas for someone you love, you may visit me at prairievintagejewelry.com. Thank you very much for those of you guys who have supported me in the past. I am very blessed. All right, so we have the Lovers in reverse. We have the Two of Beetles, which is the Two of Pentacles. We've got the Ten of Moths, which is the Ten of Wands. We've got the Knight of Wands in reverse. We got the Two of Wands upright. Wow, a lot of wands here, a lot of passion, a lot of red, a lot of desire. I feel like there's like a lot of desire and a lot of fire that's like waiting to like burst, or at least come out. Okay, so we have the Hangman. We've got the Moon. There's a lot of major arcana and very deep here. Okay, we got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. We got the Eight of Swords in reverse. We got the Six of Cups. Okay, I am seeing and feeling a lot of the reflection of what we were seeing there with the Oracle cards for the tarot as well. With the twos, I am seeing a decision that you've been kind of sitting on, or at least contemplating, or not. You're kind of, you feel overwhelmed by making this decision. I think you're prepared, but you're just overwhelmed with the feeling, intense feelings you get from making this decision or for moving ahead with a decision. You're kind of really wanting to, because of all of this desire and this passion, wanting to be true to yourself and your calling and what it is that you want, but yet you're kind of holding it in and not driving forward with this decision. And you almost feel as though you're robbing yourself of this potential passion, this desire, this thing you love. I mean, the Lover's card doesn't have to necessarily be another person or situation when it comes to a connection. I mean, it can certainly mean that, but Lovers, you know, for me, generally represents a choice you're passionately about, or feel passionately about, that you love. You know, your true love could be your career or your creative vision, you know, your hobby, your desire, your person, your place. I just feel like you're not moving forward with that in your life right now, and you've sat on it for a while, and I feel like there's a lot of fear, but I feel like you've been working on releasing that fear. And I feel like what I said with Spirit's message, that Spirit's going to just make it so. I really feel as though that's going to help you to, I mean, you'll still be the one, obviously, with free will to make decisions, but I feel like Spirit's going to guide this now in a way that you can't ignore. You can't unsee what you saw. You can't undo what is going to be presented to you by Spirit. And it's going to break you free. It's going to break you free from your mental fears, from your mental, you know, your mental, I guess, communication with yourself that maybe you've been telling yourself that potentially is just more holding you back than anything, or has been holding you back. I do see that happening shortly for you guys. You know, that you are in this transition right now, that it's like right around the corner, most likely in the next 3 months or so. I feel like with the the Knight of Pentacles, like, yeah, you're at a standstill. There's nothing more you can do. Like, you're so overwhelmed with the amount of preparation and asking Spirit, because I feel for a lot of you guys it is spiritual, asking spirits or your God, your higher source, you know, asking and praying, and leaving it up to manifest, and it just hasn't moved forward. It's just so slow. You're stuck, you're overwhelmed, and you're kind of focused on that, you know, I guess, like I said, you're preparing your nest egg, you're trying to get that off the ground, but I just feel like there's nothing more that can be done except for the actual move itself here in this, you know, or breaking free of your existing environment. But I do feel like I feel this frustration inside me, of like equal amount of passion and desire to move forward, and it's so intense, but this frustration of having to not move forward with it and hold it back. And you know, so I don't know if a lot of you guys, this was self-induced. I feel like it is for some of you guys, but maybe your environment is restricting you from being able to move forward because of for some of you guys, it might be those people that are kind of in your ear about some untruths, or maybe not being truthful to you, which might have hindered your way of seeing a situation. And for some of you guys, it could very well be, you know, you're kind of a victim of your circumstance or situation. That maybe something did happen, like we were seeing, where I thought there was an opportunity to pull the trigger, and then it last minute didn't happen. Maybe you kind of got led astray towards thinking or moving towards that direction, and then it didn't happen just by chance, maybe not by you changing your mind or you doing anything, but Spirit's saying that wasn't what was supposed to happen then, or I guess that was supposed to happen, but that wasn't the time that your true calling or what it is that you're meant to do in the situation was supposed to happen. And I feel like it is something grand. I feel like it's something very deep. I feel like it is something that's going to spark so much of your true self and your, you know, with the moon, we saw the animal, we're seeing all these wands with passion, with your true, genuine self. I just feel like it's something that can't be ignored anymore. And there's been a long period of, you know, suspension where you're kind of contemplating, but you have this perspective on what amount of happiness this is going to bring to you. And I think a lot of you guys are already decided. It's just more of a matter of now putting it into action. Okay, so now we will go into some guidance cards here and take a look at what Spirit has to say. I don't think there's more you can do, to be honest with you. I think what Spirit's message was very clear, that whatever is going to be put in front of you by chance or circumstance, I mean, I don't really believe in chance. I think, you know, a lot of times things are happening because they're meant to happen, but there will be an opportunity for you to go after what it is that you want and make the decision to pull the trigger. And I don't see a hesitation anymore. And maybe for some of you guys, you're scared that you might hesitate, you know, that you might pass up an opportunity and say, oh, why did I, you know, was I not thinking clear? I don't see you passing up on an opportunity. I see that you are so ready for it that when the opportunity arises, you won't even second guess it. You're done with contemplating. You're done with mentally going over this. For a lot of you guys, it's just enough already. All right, so we have re-energize your life, clear, positive space and harmony. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. So this is totally what it's feeling like. You know, these readings are hard because, one, it's the collective and there's just so much coming at me at once. I'm trying to channel it, but your life, like, I mean, how do I channel everything with your life? Like when I mentioned this touches all of your life, it's like it's saying positive space. Like your environment right now is not helping you, you know, your physical environment, like people who are around. And even if there aren't a lot of people around, then maybe it's your space, your house, where you're working, your routine, what you're doing, like all of that stuff is just not doing it. And your spirit guides are really highly wanting you to re-energize your whole life. You know, and like I said, for some people, their career's their whole life, right? Or they've been in a connection, relationship with someone their whole life. That could be their thing, right? I mean, this could be going after a passion or a hobby or a desire that you've always wanted to do, you know, and that you're in an environment that's stifling your growth, that's not enabling you to move forward, but yet you have all the tools and all the talent and all the drive to move forward. And I think for a lot of you guys, you are clear in what it is that you want. It's just a matter of how it's going to happen and how it's going to, you know, come into your life. And this harmony here, I feel for a lot of you guys, maybe you're waiting for it to kind of harmonize into your existing life and kind of meld, but that's not really what's going to happen here. In order for you to get there, you're going to make a decision. You're going to have to make a decision. And I think you're going to be clear because you've spent a lot of time thinking about it, and it is passionately felt, it is authentic, and it is genuine. But when you do, it doesn't harmonize into your life like an easy transition. It is just something that, like I said, flips your life around, but it is harmony because it is exactly what brings your vibration into what you're meant to be doing in your life. And right now I feel like you're out of harmony because your vibration isn't matching like your inside world. And when we were saying inside world, outside world, like I was really seeing your inside world is not matching your outside world. So you're feeling that lack of harmony. And even if you're not highly spiritual, I know a lot of you guys clicked on this because, I mean, the title, right? Like, what the F is going on? Because the inside world of what you're feeling is not matching, and that it feels off, it feels wrong. And for some of you guys that have identified what it is that is wrong, what it is that needs to be done, and maybe you're kind of at the state where now it just needs to be done. And for some of you guys, maybe you're taking those, you know, those steps into saying, whatever next opportunity I have, I'm taking it because I'm so done thinking, I'm so done prepared, or done preparing. So you're there, you're at that stage, and Spirit is bringing in this opportunity for you. So don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Don't feel as though it's not coming. I really feel as though it's right around the corner. If you're at that point that you just need this because you're so overwhelmed with that 10 of Swords or 10 of Wands we were seeing there in the middle. I feel like you're very overloaded and just have had enough. Journeyer. This is kind of what it's all about. You know, it is a journey, and I think sometimes things don't meld into our existing world. And when it doesn't, and we're called to move forward, this is giving me the Fool energy, where it's like you're stepping forward into unknown territory. It's like a journey. You don't know what's bad, what's good, what's learned, but I feel like it's all part of that trip. It's all part of that journey. And I feel like it is a blessed journey. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're able to help other people in your surrounding, in your life, once you're able to break yourself free and follow in this journey, that this will enable you to help others who are, you know, who love you and who really want the best for you, and bring in new people in your life who are able to support you and get inspired by you and what you're able to do. You know, coming from maybe a country where you're not really happy with, but you've lived all your life, you know, into a new country is a really big change. Or like if you've always done a certain career for all of your life and then having to start anew, that could be very scary. But I do feel like it's all part of what you're going to enjoy. You know, you're not only going to enjoy that destination once you know, get to where you're going. I feel like the whole journey really begins once you decide to take that step. Once it shows its opportunity to you, that's where it begins, and that's where your joy begins as well. This feels very enlightening. I feel like it's going to free you. I feel like a sense of freedom almost from this card. Yeah, so that's what I have here for you, pile number 1. I'm sorry you feel as though you're in an effed up situation. It is frustrating, I know, but I do feel as though this is headed in the right direction. I think you've done all the things right. I think you're at the point where you've done as much as you can, and trust that your vibration will bring in the next best thing for you at this time. And don't be so hard on yourself. Just kind of, you know, learn lessons, and there'll always be an opportunity for the right time. I truly feel that way. And thank you so much. I'm so blessed. Leave a comment. I'd love to know what you're up to. And yeah, I'm super excited for you and your new life. We'll see you again. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous pile number 2. If you pick the Grunge Tarot and this key here, then this will be your reading. So we will be taking a look at your effed up situation and what is going on. So we'll get messages from Spirit in regards to a deeper look at what's going on with the situation, any sort of hidden information, some guidance from Spirit. But we'll ask Spirit to be clear and concise. For pile number 2, please give us clear messages. Please protect pile number 2. We are so grateful and thankful for your messages, Spirit. And pile number 2, I am so grateful for you allowing me to tap into your energy. Now we will get the oracle cards out, and some people like them shuffled live, some people do not. I mean, this process takes a while. I don't know if I'm getting messages from Spirit as I'm shuffling, but you're more than welcome to fast forward through this. If I can learn to shuffle. But we will pull some tarot after. All right, so we have Cow Spirit, the miracles are endless. Well, that's a good way to start it off. Huh, I'm feeling that one. Yes, Spirit, thank you. I won't be doing any private readings for the month of December, so if you are interested in a private reading, you could send me an email. Huh, interesting. We had this come out in pile number 1, and that one kind of spoke to me, so interesting. But yes, sorry, all over the place. If you are interested in a private reading, send me an email. My email address will be down below, but I will not be doing readings for the month of December and part of January. So we got Death here in reverse. Spirit, is this reversed? Yeah, I feel it's reversed. Okay. Also, if you're interested in jewelry, vintage jewelry for Christmas, feel free to visit me at prairievintagejewelry.com. Thank you so much for my supporters. Okay, we got the Desert with the number 37. 7 here as well. 7 here as well. 6 here. Okay. The Transformer. Fog. 39. Twin flames, soul partner, eternal connection, angelic assistance, divine guidance, and loving support. And these two wanted to come out together. We have 6 and, of course, another 7. Okay, last oracle card before we get into the reading. We're already getting some pretty intense energies here. Bad health. And that did want to come in reverse, but we'll see what I pick up here from this card. This is number 4. Just making sure that I'm in frame. Okay, so give me a minute. Now, this reading really was about your situation, something that's going on right now that's perplexing, that's like, what the hell is going on? I don't know what's going on. And it could be really about anything, okay? So I am reading for the collective, and it's getting a little more difficult as I feel different energies come in. So first few videos, I just kind of felt the same energies coming in and out. I feel as though there's like energies here that I haven't felt before, but what I'm trying to say is that take this as it's going to resonate to your situation. And I mean, if it's completely not resonating at all, then go check out another pile. But there might be some extremes that might not be applicable in your situation. Just leave those messages. But if some of this is making sense to you, then this is most likely a message for you. I do a lot of relationship readings because for me it's helping me heal, but I also feel as though I just can read it a little bit easier, or at least I feel I can. So with this, I feel like this is about a relationship that you're really struggling right now with. And yeah, I feel as though if this is something to do with not a connection or relationship, then this isn't your pile. But what I'm going to say here might, you know, not be completely applicable to your relationship, or may, but just kind of take what resonates. But yes, this is about a relationship here with twin flames. I feel as though you are in a connection with someone that you're feeling a very strong pull to, but you almost feel as though you're dying, okay? You feel like you're dying, but there's this star, there's this brightness that comes with the death that you're seeing, and you almost know that it's there. Like, I'm feeling a brightness where you're reaching out for this brightness, where you see this brightness up ahead, where there's this, like, you know, this heart up ahead. I feel like there's this knowing that even though you feel like you're dying or drowning in this situation, that you feel as though that you know that there's this light ahead, or there's a reason why this is moving you in the direction that you're moving, but you're just completely, none of it's making any sense. Well, I'm feeling really heavy with this fog, like nothing is making any sense. Just when you think you understand, you're not understanding. And I feel as though you don't know whether the fact that you feel like you're dying is a warning that your intuition's telling you, you know, not to move forward. You're not sure if you should listen to what voice anymore, because sometimes your intuition, or you feel it's your intuition, but what Spirit is telling me is that this warning is coming from your fears, this inability to let go fully. I feel like you're right on the verge with this Desert card, like you're still not quite, I mean, what you would call dead, but I don't see this as death. I see this as a rebirth. And I feel as though Spirit's telling you this warning is your fear. You're really scared because you don't know what this relationship with this person is even going to bring. You just know that you feel a light. You just know that you feel this light. You know, like I'm actually really feeling like this whole reading to me is like this beam of light that's like coming down despite the fog. Like this is probably the lightest card here, and I just feel like there is this fog, but there's this light, like a beacon that you feel like your person or being in this connection. I almost said savior, but I feel as though you're guided to this healing light because you need to heal. And I feel as though with all these sevens that you've really been touched by the grace of God. I mean, you yourself have a gift to bring forward in this world. And I feel as though your person has triggered you to be able to untap what that is. And I feel as though a lot of you guys have always sensed it. I've always felt it. I've always carried it with you. I feel like it's always been there. But I just feel as though the death of how you've been moving through your life is scary, but it is needed in order for you to be able to work with that light, in order for you to work with that healing energy and what you're really supposed to be doing with yourself. I feel like even like with this bad health that I flipped around because it was coming in reverse, and I had flipped it upright and I was looking at it, and 4 is the number, well, this is 31, but I feel as though reducing it to 4. The 4 is the number of stability. And I feel as though a lot of you guys might be down a road that's not very healthy for you. And I feel like with the number 4 in reverse that the stability of what you need it's impacting your health if you're continuing down a way that you've been continuing leading your life. And I'm having a hard time talking, which, I mean, I don't know if that's normal. Normally I can't read or do math when I'm channeling because my mind is just going a million miles a minute. But I feel as though me having a hard time talking, I feel as though you're speechless right now. I feel like this connection, this person has left you just feeling speechless and just like not knowing what's up, what's down. Like you're questioning everything. You're questioning how you've even lived your life up until now. And maybe what you've been preparing for. This card came out in pile number 1. And I felt this card as like preparing and like storing away for a rainy day. And I just feel like you've been doing the same thing with yourself for so long. And I feel like I feel as though it's just actions. You're doing these actions, but I don't feel as though you even know why you're doing what it is that you're doing. There's no purpose. I feel like you're just kind of aimlessly doing the same thing. And that's fine. I mean, but I think you've identified that you don't want to, or at least you've been able to crack that open because this person has been giving you this new perspective on your own self, that you've been able to shine the light on areas of why you've been maybe the way you've been, or how it is that you want to be. This warning here, though, I feel like the message for me is loud, that you are scared, or at least you fear that you're not listening to something that you should be listening to, that this is a warning to fully jump into this connection or release yourself into this death of your old self. And Spirit is telling me that this warning is coming from your fear. This warning is coming from your shadow side, telling you that you have done all these preparations for a reason, so it'll all kind of be in vain or for nothing, because that's how you've lived your life. So what was the purpose? What was the point of all this? Like, you've wasted. It's almost like, sorry if I'm not communicating this in a very nice way, but I'm just gonna try to communicate it as best I can. So let's say if you're whatever, you've spent 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, 60 years building your nest egg and doing the same thing, and then you hit the point where you realize, because of meeting your person or experiencing what it is with this person, or seeing something within yourself, that if you truly take a look, you're going to ask yourself, why did you spend, 10, 20, 40, 60 years doing the same thing when maybe things could have been different? And I feel as though that's a fair question, but I don't feel as though it was a waste. And I don't feel as though you'll feel like it was a waste. I just feel you mentally, to ask yourself that is a scary question, because maybe the answer would come back that you've wasted time, or that you weren't authentic, or that you should have been doing that, or that you could have done this. And I don't think that's healthy, to beat yourself up over a woulda, coulda, shoulda mentality. And I really feel as though you won't really do that, but I don't feel like you're wanting to even entertain that, because maybe the fear is that answer that you don't want to hear. So you're close, here with the desert and the hand's still kind of out. I think you're close. I think you're at the point where now there's no turning back. Like, you can't breathe, pretty much. You're gonna be consumed, I guess. I'm using these scary words, but I feel like these are your words, not mine. And you don't want to let go. You don't want to let go of what you've built, even though you're looking and you're like, but that there's lots, but these are things that aren't really, like, they're super important, but these are things that don't depend. Okay, Spirit has a message. These are things that are going to exist regardless of your actions in letting yourself be free in this connection, if that is what you choose to do, and change your view or perception, that these things that you've been supporting, that you've been plotting, that you've been guiding, that you've had in your life, won't be hindered, and they won't just disappear. Like, they're just different ways maybe of perceiving things, but I feel like a lot of it has to do with friends, a lot of it has to do with family, a lot of it has to do with routines, a lot of it has to do with comforts, and I just feel as though all of it doesn't change. And I don't know if that's the fear, is that all of this is going to change. In fact, I feel as though you are going to be pulling these things out as you identify, maybe hanging on to a friend in a situation in which could be let go, or a family member that was unhealthy, or a routine that you no longer serve, or a hobby, habit that changes. But I feel you're going to be picking through it as a result of growth, rather than you having to part with all these things that you've planned for yourself, all nicely safely guarded because it's a part of who you are. And then your person is just, you know, it's either this person or the situation or giving yourself up and losing all these things. So that message is like super loud. But I feel like the fog is the confusion because you can't see, but it is the brightest card here. That I feel as though the message is this fog is the best thing really at this time, because in the fog, you're able to actually move with where you're guided to by your own self. Like nobody is going to force you. You're kind of the driver here. Like you have to navigate through this fog. And that's what makes it more authentically true to it being your own decision, your own free will of choices, what you want to do, because you're able to follow the light of what you're feeling. And I feel like it is a very strong light. And I mean, you don't have to necessarily believe in twin flames, but I do believe that you and your person have a very deep spiritual soul connection. And I feel as though you feel that too. And I also feel here with the angelic assistance that you are being guided, not only by, you know, your spirit, God, what you believe in as your, you know, your God, your spirit, your ancestors, your spirit guides. Like, your person really loves you, and I feel like your person really wants to be there for you however they can be, and they're really prepared to just support you, even if it just means, you know, watching you kind of make these decisions as you go along. I feel like with all these sevens that you're very lucky, but your person is also very lucky that this by chance meeting, you know, was very much destined. And with the 6 here with the lovers, I feel as though, because 6 is the lovers in tarot, that there still is a choice. But I feel like your choice, I feel like a lot of you guys are at the point where now you can't go back anyway. So you feel as though maybe you don't have a choice, but it's been your choice all along. I feel like you've been navigating through this fog, you know, and I feel like with this back to this health, like I feel like you were probably in a point where, you know, if you continued down that path, that your health was just going to get the better of you, your stress, your levels of even your stability. I find like your stability in who you are as a solid person might have not have been what you desired it to be, or at least what you perceive stability to be. Maybe your life wasn't structured. Maybe financially you're not kind of where you want to be. You know, just stability, whatever that means to you. Could mean a whole bunch of things, but I just feel like whatever you envision for yourself for stability, I feel if you continue down this path, you would most likely not fulfill yourself when it comes to building that stability. And I feel like this is an opportunity for you to build your stability, that this is going to help with that, but also with your health for some reason keeps coming up. And yeah, I'm really feeling like a whole lot of love, like just a very deep love, but a knowing, like knowing it's love, knowing that love will lead the way, and kind of trusting. I feel like this is really a trusting, knowing card. And that how the gem is in the heart, it's like that is the prize, you know, the heart is the prize. Listening to the heart, your heart, is the prize, you know. And I really sense as though there is this lightness that will come. But really, I think maybe why you clicked on this video, you know, is because the fear is speaking very loudly. And one thing that I really liked, I don't even know where I heard it, but fear screams very loudly, so it's hard to ignore, but your intuition whispers and your knowing whispers, so it's easy to miss it or pay attention. But if you're still, you will hear either something very loud as a warning, and that is most likely your fear. And I feel like a lot of you guys have a knowing inside, or at least your intuition, to navigate through this fog. I feel like your person is, or has also been in this fog, but I don't feel like your person, I don't feel like your person is in the fog with you, but they're supporting you. The miracles are endless. I feel as though this is an absolute miracle, and I'm sure you feel it too. You don't need me to say it. Like, I just feel this is a miracle. It's a miracle by chance meeting for both of you guys. The miracle that you're able to take this miracle and transform yourself into this beautiful energy, this beautiful light. You know, and it is difficult because of the warning and the fog and the not knowing and the second guessing and the inability to let go and to let it. Like, I feel like you're no longer fighting, and maybe at some point you were, but you're still not fully embracing or letting go. And I feel like the miracles begin when the full embracing of this change happens, and that the miracles are really endless. Like, I feel like in the next 3 months, you're going to have things happen where your heart's just going to fully open up and be an absolute miracle upon another miracle. You know, I say something, but I feel like some things, like a lot of miracles are headed towards you, like miracles from God. You know, that's what's coming in very heavily to me. Spirit's saying these miracles are like by the grace of God. You know, you're able to have stability by the grace of God. Like, your health just improves by the grace of God. You have this light energy around you supporting you, and you're just this person that's just full of blessings, and they just keep coming in. You know, with the sevens, that's luck. That, you know, and I mean, you don't have to necessarily believe in luck, but all good things are coming. That's like success. That's just doors keep opening. You know, you're winning. And I feel like you've been not in a situation of winning for a very long time. And it sucks to lose, especially feeling how you are as a person. I feel like you're very special, you know, and that even though I'm not saying that you're losing in everything in life, but I just feel like all these losses, that when you'd have a small win, felt like a blessing, but you deserve so much more. Like, all of these wins are nothing compared to what you deserve, you know. And we have a 6 here as well, which is, like I said, like the Lover's card. To me, the 6 is a choice, and I feel like the choice is to allow these miracles to come in rather than maybe hang on or fight or listen to a fear. I still feel like there's a choice that needs to be made, and it has to be actively made by you. And I could see how it's difficult, because there's been a lot of effort and energy in this, planting these seeds. All right, wow, that was very long. I need to get into the tarot because I do. All right, so yeah, you picked the Grunge tarot. We're going to ask tarot for some more around pile number 2. All right, so we got the 9 of Cups in reverse. We got the Knight of Wands in reverse. We got the 8 of Swords in reverse. I will list these tarot cards down below as well if you're interested. and buying yourself a set. 8 of Cups. And the 2 of Cups. All right, so why is the 9 of Cups here in reverse, spirits? We got the Stars in reverse. Got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Got the Magician upright. We got the World. Page of Wands. Okay, so I'm feeling from these cards same energies that I was picking up with the Oracle card, so that's good. I mean, good as in I'm not totally perplexed now with different energies coming in here, because sometimes I'm like, what the heck is this? But this kind of makes sense to me. But just give me a minute to make sure I'm not overlooking anything. I'm picking up heavy past energies, because I think for a lot of viewers, you're still kind of transitioning. But I did pick up a little bit of future energies too. So with the 9 of Cups, the 9 of Cups speaks of, you know, a wish fulfillment, your dreams kind of coming true, getting one's wish. And I feel like with the Star, we know wish upon a star, getting your wish. And I feel with it in reverse, I feel like you've been not getting what it is that you want. Like you have not been enjoying what it is that makes you truly happy, your true wish, your true desire. And I feel like you haven't been able to really go for it, you know, whatever the reason may be, either just not, you know, driving yourself to do it, but there just hasn't been an opportunity for you to move forward. And I think it's more been a circumstance than anything with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And maybe you've been stuck in a series of karmic cycles that you're trying to work through, but I feel as though you weren't able to move forward into what it is that you truly want for yourself. And maybe for some of you guys, you were figuring it out. But I do sense that a lot of you guys know what it is, or have known what it is now for some time, and just haven't been able to move forward because of circumstance. But with the Magician here, like, wow, like despite this inability to move forward, the Magician speaks of manifesting and making things happen. The Magician has all the tools necessary, you know, because it has all the suits here to create something into this, bring what's out in the, you know, astral plane into this 3D world and actually create something. And I feel like you are so able to do that. And because this is more central energy, I feel like you guys are finally stepping into your power of creating. With the 8 of Swords in reverse, 8 of Swords speaks of mental prison, telling yourself maybe untruths, your fears getting the best of you, maybe other people putting limitations on you, situations that may appear in a certain way as a prison. And maybe it is a real prison. I mean, I feel here with the Wheel of Fortune, you've been really, you know, at the mercy of what's kind of going on around you. So it's been an inability to break free. But with it in reverse, I feel like you're now in a position that you could break free from that 8 of Swords, from that restriction. You're able to move forward and manifest what you want. And I feel like what a lot of you guys want to do is move away from challenging times with this 8 of Cups. You know, you are emotionally looking at maybe what once was your life and what once made you happy, and you want to now look at something that might be more emotionally fulfilling. And it hurts because with the 8 of Cups, there also is this pain in leaving something that, you know, was making you happy at some point in time. It might have been your wish fulfillment at one point in time, but I feel like it's not no more. And it's okay to feel that way. But I also don't feel like you're leaving it behind. I feel like because what we saw there with the Oracle cards, you're kind of playing it out to be, you know, with that bird that was burying all that stuff, cachet or cash or whatever that card was, where I said you're kind of lining things up, and it was all these aspects or these areas of your life, and now you're kind of thinking or feeling like I'm leaving it behind. But I don't feel as though you are. Like even with this world, it's like coming to a close, but you feel as though it's like a graduation from your life, you know, that you've learned what you can and that you're closing out that chapter. And maybe for some of you guys, it's a welcoming change. I'm getting for a lot of you guys, it's not. And like, you feel like you're letting go, like it's coming to an end, but I don't I mean, I think a lot might have to come to an end because it just, you know, that you internally have to make something different, but I don't feel as though it's out of you being forced or you out of you, you know, having to choose this connection or this letting this person in or following the light. I feel like you feel like if you follow the light, now you have to somehow part ways with all of these things. Yeah, that's like two messages, and some of you guys have a hard time letting go of that. I think everyone has a hard time letting go of it, but for some of you guys, you're looking forward to wanting to let go of it, and for some of you guys, you're not ready to let go of it, or you're telling yourself you aren't ready to let go of it, or that you have to let go of it, and Spirit's saying you don't have to do anything, and it's not really an end unless you want it to be an end, but that's only you know. And I think for a lot of you guys, when you realize you don't have to let a lot of that go, and you just kind of focus on the light and the healing and what it is you want, a lot of those things will just kind of morph and change to support your life a little bit better. I just feel like it's going to morph and meld into a way that's going to be more suitable for your growth, your healing, your health, your ability to propel yourself towards what you want. And of course, the Two of Cups speaks of this union with your person, and I feel like it's the beginning, you know, and this is more future energy, but I feel like you'll have the ability to open up to your person. And with the Two of Cups, it is this giving and taking, this balanced relationship with another, you know, and I feel like that's what you guys are preparing for. With the Page of Wands, it's a lot of passion, a lot of drive. It also speaks of communication, but inspiration to drive forward. I feel a lot of the inspiration is having a life worth wanting, worth desiring, worth living out passion. I feel with the Page, it's like the beginning, you know, even the Two is the beginning, you know, the beginning of a partnership, the beginning of something super exciting, a spark. And I feel like with this guy spray painting too, like he wants to say something to his person. So either you've been not communicating your truth and you want to tell your person that you feel the same way they feel, or that you felt the same way they feel, or that you want the same thing that you want, and you haven't been able to communicate that. So you're coming forward in your truth. Wow, I just got goosebumps with that one. That's really beautiful. And I think you're well on your way. I mean, with the Magician, you're very capable of it. And you have such a beautiful light that's been maybe dimmed towards something else. And now it's just open. I feel like it's open and it's beyond this person even. I feel like it's beyond this. I just feel like your ability to open up that light, you know, is so amazing. And I feel like you feel very blessed that you're able to catch and see and do this for yourself. And this person has helped you, but it's really you. Like you're the Magician. You're the one manifesting. You're the one making this decision. You're the one, you know, that's taking the ball forward, right? You're navigating through the fog, yes, and you know, maybe your person instigated you or that spark, but it's definitely coming and stemming from you. Like they're not doing anything here aside from supporting you. And I feel like your person is also very magical in their own way, especially to be able to have this come out in you is a very wonderful magical ability. So you guys are both super blessed. I'm going to take a look at, you know, these guidance cards here from Spirit, and we'll see what Spirit has to say. We'll start with these here. Spirit, can we get some advice cards here for pile number 2 regarding their effed up situation and what they should do, or some guidance? Thank you. Pile number 2, your situation don't sound so effed up to me, but I guess you're feeling it's effed up. It's very strong. It's very deep. I'll give you that much. But it seems like a lot of you guys are fairly clear now. Or at least even with the fog, I shouldn't say clear, but that light I feel is so, it's so loud, you know, and I know the fears are loud too. So maybe that the light is loud, the fears are loud, and they're both pulling. So I could see how it is confusing because you got these two things, but I feel like the light being loud is more bright and it feels more, despite it being loud and consuming, it's kind of a constant light energy, whereas the fear, I feel it's loud and it's sharp and it's uncomfortable. So one feels more comfort and soft and home, and the other one feels more loud and sharp. So I could see, because they're both very heavy, there being this push-pull dynamic, especially when you've invested, like I said, for some of you guys, could be up to 60 years in something, you know, that you, or more, I mean, I don't know why that number's coming to me. For some of you guys, maybe 7 years, because I see 7 coming up a lot here. But looking back and saying, I've prepared myself for my future in this way and how I wanted it to unfold. And now you have this whole rigmarole where you're having to flip the script, right? Psychic strength, shield, talismans, and gold light. Oh my God, the gold light I was feeling throughout this whole freaking reading. Thank you, Spirit. Gold light completely surrounds you, and it's going to guide you through that fog. So it's kind of like an oxymoron. You're in the fog with this golden light, but I feel like the fog needs to be there in order for you to be the one to make these decisions. But you are surrounded by this golden light, this ability to guide yourself through this fog, because you have this light that you're able to navigate despite what's going on around you. And I do feel like with this talisman that you have something right now that is going to bring you strength. It is a material something. Like, I don't know if you guys know what a talisman is, but it could be like a pendant or a stone, I don't know, a picture, something someone gave you, something important to you, a locket, a necklace, something tangible. It's small. Either you carry it with you right now. I'm seeing for some of you guys a watch, something that's important to you that you carry, that Spirit's saying to hold it. And when you feel you're in the fog, just hold it and ask Spirit for that gold light to guide you, because you do have this psychic ability and the strength to propel yourself towards what is right. And I feel like the energy from that is melding with yours in order to guide you in the right direction that you trust, because it's coming from you, rather than external and maybe feeling like you're being poked or pulled by external forces. It's kind of driven from you. I feel like it more guides you. And with the shield, I feel like you are protected by this light, but I also feel like you can use this talisman to shield you from knowing when you hold this talisman, trinket, or whatever it is, piece of jewelry, or, you know, the thing, you tell yourself you're protected. You're protected by outside opinions. You're protected by outside noise. You're protected by outside habits or things that might have driven you in the past to not accomplish what it is that you want. And it acts as a shield, this gold light, and also a guiding light. So I feel like, yeah, that's Spirit wants to tell you. I think it's something shiny. Maybe it's something you put on your clothing. She has lots of jewelry. What else, Spirit, for pile number 2? Thank you, Spirit. Shaman of tradition. I got nothing. I got nothing. I mean, tradition. She looks like she's in some traditional garb, but I do want to see here with the book. Bear with me. What Spirit wants to say. I knew I'd need this book. That's why I had it beside me here. Okay, I want to make sure I'm still recording. Okay, so let's see. I am the shaman of tradition. I burrow into the deepest memories of the land to uncover truth and bring it to the surface. flame lit by the consciousness of all who love me. No matter what you are seeking, I can find a tradition that matches your dream and aspirations. I stand before you, holding aloft the energies of the inner world and bringing these forces to bear upon everything you set out to accomplish. Wow, that's beautiful. So it says, tradition underpins so much of our lives, yet we are often cavalier with it. A tradition can be anything from an ancient ritual, such as midwinter fires or dancing around the maypole, to the morning routines that prepare you for the day ahead. Either way, it is part of the fabric of what makes us human. The shaman of tradition draws on the deep-rooted customs of the land and uses them to fuel our spiritual quest for knowledge. This shaman reminds us that we should never ignore tradition, which is often a vehicle for ancestral wisdom and can offer us vital clues about who we are. Valuing established patterns, acknowledging the past, acceptance of the shaping power of tradition, deep memory, reassessing paths, recognizing traditions in daily living. So I feel as though what I'm really getting from this one was that bird that was doing all the same things. I feel as though you're going to really reassess what your traditions are. It could, again, be daily routines, things that you constantly do because you've done it that way, that you want to hang on to. That's fine, and you should. And I feel like because some of your concern was having to let go or the death of that, where Spirit's saying none of it is dying, you're just hanging on to and cleaning up what maybe no longer serves you. But what I'm feeling really from this one is focusing on you needing that. You do need that tradition. You do need, you know, some of those routines. You do need the same, you know, whether it's that friend circle or your family in your life or the patterns of which you do things. Like there's certain things in your life that you don't want to part with and that you shouldn't and you won't have to, and that you should hang on to and that you should continue as this tradition. And I think maybe that coming at the end as this message to you, maybe that was the biggest fear, that warning you were feeling, was that you were having to let go or part with those important things. And I just feel this really strong heaviness of love. You know, you love your family. I feel like family's coming really strong here, and I feel like friends are coming in really strong, and that's why I'm bringing it up. And tradition, as far as routine, you know, your way of doing things that is important to you, whether it was important to someone else, doesn't really matter, but you don't want to have to change that. And that, Spirit's saying, is fine, because that's not what Spirit's asking you to do with your golden light in this connection. And I know that, you know, twin flames came up, this is about a connection, but it's really, this reading's about you, you know, about how this impacts you as an individual, about where you're going, about the decisions you make, about free will, about the choices you make and what's going to make you happy, but also what is making you unhappy, and having the power within yourself to make those decisions and identify, you know, what you want for yourself and what you want to get rid of. And I really feel like this talisman, this thing, this object you're able to hold, you know, draw power from it. Ask Spirit, ask your ancestors, you know, ask your soul, guide me, you know, because I feel that gold light is always there. That is your reading. Pile number 2. I so much enjoyed this reading. I'm so sorry if it was really long. It just kept coming out. But I do really think that was very fabulous. And I wish you so much luck. I wish you so much blessings, if that is a word or a sentence. And yeah, thank you so much. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. If you want to visit me at prairievintagejewelry.com, please do that. If you're hopping off, see you later. Bye. Hello, blessed souls who chose pile number 3. If you picked this key and this tarot deck, this is a Murder of Crows deck, we will get into your reading. So we will be pulling oracle cards first, and we're going to be taking a look at your what the F situation you're in. What is going on? Can we make sense of it? You know, does Spirit have anything hidden that you don't know? What's the guidance? I feel like, yeah, these 2 piles have been really intense. I can't believe I was going to do 4 piles. That just, yeah, that'd be way too long. And I think I have 1 more pile left in me here because that was very intense. But I am super excited to get into your reading. Now, picking the oracles will take a little bit of time. I don't know what messages I'm going to get as I'm shuffling here. Some people like the shuffling process, seeing it live, so I'm doing it live. You can fast forward if you want. But we will ask Spirit for clear and concise messages here. We'll take the bottom 4 pile, number 3. And Spirit, we are so blessed. Thank you so much. Please protect pile number 3. And pile number 3, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to tap into your energy. Thank you, thank you. So we got the heart, we got intuition, we got anxiety. Now this could be a situation, any situation that you're in. Doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic situation. Doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, something specific. We're going to see what Spirit has to communicate as far as what the F is going on in the situation, this confusing, complicated situation. So we have anomaly. And for those of you guys who are interested in private readings, I will not be doing private readings for the month of December and half of January. But if you are interested in a private reading for the last remaining days of November, please send me an email. Email address is down below. All right. And if you are interested in buying vintage jewelry for Christmas, you can visit me at prairievintagejewelry.com. Great fortune, I feel that. The Uniter, I think this one came out in pile number 1 as well. The Heart with 31. Anomaly with number 2, and then Great Fortune with number 7 here. And we got Shamanic Journey, Purpose, Attunement, and Vision Quest. All right. That's the number 23 or the number 5. And we got Against Nature. A card. Giraffe Spirit, see the big picture with the number 29 or the number 11. Now, just want to take a look at this alchemy book for this Against Nature, because, just bear with me. All right, well, clearly I pulled out the book for a reason, but let's read it together, and then I'll give you my interpretation of what's going on. Now it says, on some level, we all know when we are going against nature, we recognize it in feelings of impatience and agitation that arise when trying to force certain outcomes. The Contra Naturam card arrives to remind the alchemists they cannot control the uncontrollable. Nature has its way in enveloping us in a wild narrative that we can collaborate in, but not dictate. No matter our efforts to manage every aspect in our lives, the mess ensues. Spring is soggy. The lotus requires mud. People do what they do. This card heeds a warning not to fight the flow of Mother Nature or of destiny. Once we loosen the grip of what we think life should look like, a whole new realm of possibilities awakens. Now is the time to be radically open to what nature has in store for you. Okay, so I mean, pretty straightforward with Against Nature, but I was picking up something a little different to that whole thing. So let's get into your reading. What I'm really picking up for you guys, that this has to do with making a decision of following your spiritual destination. I feel for a lot of you guys, you're feeling very anxious about making or listening to taking the first step towards something that your intuition has been calling you to do, something that you feel is right for you, something that you feel you want to try, something that you feel you're really good at, and something that you feel you're able to help contribute to the world, to either society around you, to bring forward. But you're feeling anxious about this, and I feel like for some of you guys, it could even be that you guys might be psychic, or you might have this ability that not a lot of people have, and it could very well also be a talent, but I feel like it is something more mental. So maybe some of you guys, I'm even hearing autistic, and I'm also hearing you're not people like what I'm hearing, and this is coming from what I'm hearing, so it's not me saying this, but people like you don't normally do this or are successful with this or can manage this or pull this through, because people like you aren't the types of people who would succeed with this mission. Okay, so I think this is what you're kind of maybe going through, is you have anxiety because you know inside that you're good at something, and that you feel it, you know it, you definitely are. Spirit's saying you're like very, very good at this. Well, you will know what this is, and if this isn't resonating, you might want to go check out the other piles. But you feel like you're different because you have this other way of being that you feel might impede moving this off the ground, or that people might not take you seriously because you have this other thing, right? Like, this is only an example, like, you know, Olympics, let's say, but if you have no legs or arms, or you're not in that, you know, fitness with your body that you need to use for the Olympics, people will be like, well, what are you doing here being an Olympian? But there's like Special Olympics, right? But I mean, it took a while to get Special Olympics going, like that kind of thing, where you can do something very well, and I feel as though you want to and you feel called to, but you're really this anomaly, because people like you don't generally do this, or aren't successful, or aren't even able to get it kind of going. But I feel like a lot of you guys are able to get it going, have something here that is really calling you to live through. And I feel like what Spirit is messaging to you is maybe you're not seeing the big picture of what it is that the outcome, like you're imagining an outcome, and it's holding you back, because I think the outcome maybe that you're hanging on to, and it could be what I said, you know, people like me don't normally do this or aren't successful with this, so therefore it's going to impede me. But what Spirit is messaging is saying, seeing the big picture by saying people like me haven't in the past, but if I'm able to, and I know that I am, do this, then this is going to open up doors to other people like me that want to do this or that can do this, you know. So maybe you're kind of painting the end result in a way that's limiting you from moving forward and following what it is that you know that you're able to do and do well. Like I'm hearing from Spirit, like you're amongst the greats. So if it is, I use Special Olympics, but like whatever that thing is, I feel like it is mental. You know, I use also the example of being psychic. I don't know, but this mental writer, maybe a writer with no hands, like those are really drastic, but that's kind of what Spirit is putting in my mind's eye right now, you know. A deaf musician, like that sort of thing. like, which one was the deaf musician? Bach? Is Bach deaf? One of the musicians? I think it was him. But anyway, somebody was deaf. You know, Mozart? Was Mozart deaf? Somebody was deaf. He was a great musician. It's not coming to me, but you know what I'm getting at. So I feel like you have this, and I don't even want to call it a disability, because I don't really feel like it really has been hindering you in a way that, or at least it does, but I don't feel like it's going to hinder you in your ability to maximize and pursue yourself in this arena. I feel like it's so exciting because it hasn't been done, and so there's even more of a reward. There's even more of this grandiose win at the end, you know, like if you're an Olympian like everyone else and you get a medal like everyone else, it's like, okay, but if you're the first to do Special Olympics, and I'm just using this as an example, and you get that achievement, it's like you're not just average, you're like, you have a special niche and you were able to pull through and succeed, you know. And I feel like this will bring you great fortune, but the fortune comes in the journey and the learning and being kind of a pioneer in that arena. But also the fortune is like tangible fortune. Like I feel like you're going to have a windfall because with your ability to put yourself out there, you know, it's just going to bring in financial success for you. But really your fortunes and your reward is from this journey and this quest and this pioneering this thing that's really never been done by someone like you, you know. And I feel like there's a lot going on right now in your world, and there's a lot of competition. I feel like there's so much competition that maybe you feel you can't compete in that arena, but I'm feeling really heavily from Spirit that you are, yeah, I know love has come to unite me with my beloved. I feel like this passion of yours is calling to you, and that you have this calling to unite with what it is that you want to do. You know, you want to be doing what it is that you enjoy. And I feel like with the Against Nature, even like it was talking about, you know, you can't force things and see this outcome, which we talked a little bit about, you maybe thinking because you're built in a certain way or have a certain challenge that you can't achieve something. So you have this outcome narrative that you're telling yourself. But I feel like with this Against Nature, I feel like this was telling me about this, you know, this disability that you are carrying around, that it's not going to disable you in this opportunity. It's going to help you to get more reward because of it, you know, because you weren't born like everyone else. That the reward of accomplishing what other people do is so different, and it's an anomaly is really what it is, you know. So I really feel that. All right, so we're going to get into the tarot. If that feels like it's your situation. If it's not, then you might want to go check out the other piles, but we'll see what the tarot has to say regarding pile number 3 and this effed up situation. So we will pull these two. Spirit, can we please get a card for pile number 2 regarding their situation, what's going on, any guidance you might have for them or insight? Thank you very much, Spirit. All right, so what do we have? I feel as though we're reading these upright. We have the 10 of Cups, we have the Fool, and then we have the Emperor in reverse. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the 4 of Wands. We have the Ace of Wands in reverse. We have the 6 of Wands in reverse. We have the 3 of Pentacles. And we have the Hermit. And And we also have the King of Cups. I'm feeling such a strong passion from you, like so strong, but I feel like just so, like I lost before I've even started. And I feel so sad because it sucks knowing how passionate you are and how good you are, how amazing your talent is, your ability to do what you do so well, to want to be able to do it and show it off to the world, but feeling as though you're defeated before you even got started. Like this 10 of Cups is the ultimate joy, the ultimate fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. You know, the 10 of Cups is what everyone kind of strives for, their emotional overflowing abundance in their life. And I feel like, you know, you wanting to take that step into the unknown, to learn your lessons and stuff, but just being really held back. Like with the Ace of Wands in reverse, it's like not having that ability, or, you know, that ability to actually step forward and be victorious in taking that forward step, you know. And I think that with the Emperor in reverse, I feel like maybe I think your inner dialogue is telling yourself certain things that you can't do, which I think is just not true. And I do sense a little bit of, I'm just communicating what Spirit is saying, so take this kind of as it resonates, but you telling yourself these things is protecting you in a way like a stubborn child, kind of, or acting a little bit maybe immature, or like, I don't know. Maybe it's easier for you to stop yourself than to fully go through with something and then learn or find out that maybe you weren't as good as you thought, which I don't see that at all being the case, but I just feel like you're kind of not really controlling the situation in the way that you can. And I mean, I use these disability, but I mean, a lot of people have disabilities, right? Like an ability to focus, ADHD, I'm not diagnosing anyone here for sure, right? So, I mean, you definitely, if you feel you have something, go see your doctor. But I'm just feeling like in this arena of what it is you want to do, someone with your abilities or your lack of abilities, your capabilities, don't really succeed in this arena. And I feel like you will, and not only will you, you're going to achieve such greatness and reward from that as well. And with the Three of Pentacles, it talks about that ability to work with others, to collaborate, to build something. And I feel like people are going to want you. People are going to want you to work for them, to do things for them, to achieve this for them, to build these empires and build this stuff for them because you are that good, you know. I feel like there is this emotional drive that you really have. This, it makes you feel very loved and soft, and just something with your heart, because we saw that heart card as well. I feel like it's something that you're able to express love. You're able to express what your heart wants to do, what your heart wants to say, what your heart wants to put out in the world. It's very healing and loving. And I feel as though with the Hermit card here, like it is very deep, you know, it's a very deep soul love, and it's going to bring not only peace in other people's lives, but I feel like it's going to bring kind of a central peace within your own life. And it just feels like home. It feels so natural to you, and it's just like, yeah, it's like home. It makes you feel like balanced emotionally. It emotionally makes you feel good. And it's so deep, and you're pretty certain about how much you love it and how much you enjoy doing that. You know, that is whatever your thing is. I mean, it's going to resonate for everyone who's here, but you all know what it is. Yeah, and I think the biggest message here from Spirit is maybe you're not controlling this as best you can, because you're saying, well, the outcome's just going to be that anyway, but you're kind of robbing your own chance. You know, instead of being emperor and putting order and saying, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that, and have order and structure to making it happen, you're kind of being a little bit of a spoiled child by saying, well, I'm just going to suck anyways, or it's just not going to pay it out anyway. No one's going to watch a, you know, someone in a wheelchair play basketball, or whatever that thing is. I'm using very dramatic examples because my spirit guides love me, and I'm very much a person that exaggerates, so bear with me, but you know what I'm trying to get at, right? So you're telling yourself these things with the, what was it? The card that we read in the book. This one here. Against nature, right? Being hung up on an outcome. But by telling yourself that now, you're kind of seeing this outcome as no one's going to watch, no one's going to invest, no one's going to play, no one's going to trust, no one's going to hire me, no one's going to want that, but I have so much love in what it is and this passion. And it could very well be a hobby, but I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's a lifestyle. You know, it's a hobby that turns into how you live your life. It becomes who you are. It becomes this thing that you're able to put into the world. And, you know, and if it is just your career, like it's your career, but a career you love, like you want to be this doctor, or you want to be this thing, and you feel as though people like you don't make it, but Spirit's saying you are not only the right person for this, but you will have so much more reward than your average person doing this because of that. So you're looking at it kind of flip-flopped. You know, don't let it hold you back. So let's take a look at this guidance from Spirit. Spirit, thank you so much for the message for pile number 3. Do you have guidance here for pile number 3? What else do you want to tell them? Well, of course we get 2. Okay, so we have interact and relate, community, family, tradition. So we were really picking up that being able to even start, right? Like with the Ace of Wands in reverse, it's like not even taking that initial final step because you're already defeated. You know, the Six of Wands is victorious. Six of Wands in reverse is kind of like defeated, not winning, because you feel as though, you know, you're at a disadvantage. But here, community, family, like I think your community and your family see the value, and you have so much support and love around you. Like Spirit is asking you to connect and talk to your family, because I feel like, you know, and your family could be your friends, could be your community, can be your church, could be your, you know, where you go play ball, could be anything really. But I feel like you have such a supporting group of people. And I think that a lot of them, although they might not be going through or have the same setbacks as you do, physically, mentally, or whatever, they understand you to be able to relate and communicate challenges they've had that they were able to sort through. And I think that's really going to help you to feel the confidence that you need, because it could very well be a lack of confidence here in pulling this off the ground. And I feel like Spirit has confirmed like the love you have here is going to be the biggest driver, and it doesn't need to be perfect. You know, like some of the greats create something, but there might be an imperfection, and that's what makes it so wonderful. And I feel like that is exactly your thing, that you build and that you create, or that you output this thing that has maybe these imperfections that normally wouldn't, but that's what people want. That's what people are craving. That's what people want to see from you. It becomes your trademark, your thumbprint or fingerprint on this thing, right? And I feel it is mental. Stories, writing, communicating, could be communicating love, could be a lot of things. So we have teach and share. Yeah, it's you are going to be teaching a lot of people. One, that even though you may have a disability or something that is holding you back, or a setback, I don't even like calling it really a disability, but I mean, we have to face what our challenges are, and you're looking at this challenge and you're going to use this in order to teach other people and share your story. We have here instill, instruct, and educate. And I feel like if this Emperor was upright, this is so Emperor, you know, able to instruct, educate, instill, teach, share. You are the emperor, and you're able to do that, but you're kind of stuck right now in your mental voice that you're telling yourself and holding yourself back because you feel others would be saying or thinking these things. And potentially there are others that are saying this, but you're going to prove them wrong. You're going to do this, and you're going to do this with flying colors, and you're going to do this in a way that just blows everyone's mind, you know, especially the haters. Those haters can hate, but that's just going to drive you even more. And I don't feel like you are one that even plays that game, because you're so full of love that you just don't even want to be around naysayers and negativity and hate. You just don't even want to go there. You don't even want to entertain it, so you're not even looking at that. But unfortunately, in order to press through something we love so much, sometimes we have to go through a challenge and go through things we hate, but see it differently. You know, instead of seeing it as something you hate or something you don't want to be around, use that as fuel to say, here's what everyone thinks someone like me would accomplish, but here's what I can actually accomplish, and prove them wrong. Shaman of Sorrows. I feel like with this one specifically, if you don't do this, I mean, you could do what you want, but if you don't, you're going to be hella depressed. Like, there's no denying this passion of yours, this love. And I feel like with the Shaman of Sorrows, every day, this is something that you've been working towards, that you really want to do, that gives you so much meaning in your life and love, that you're going to find your way there. I just feel like this message from Spirit is, if you don't take that chance, you're going to feel these sorrows, and it's not good. It's a worse feeling than facing your haters, or facing that one step of maybe failing the first time or a couple times, or however long it takes until you figure it out. But that's the thing of it, is that I don't even see you failing, and there isn't really failure when you're learning, when you're taking it off the ground. I mean, hell, go to, you know, my first few videos, I'm changing it around, trying to figure it out, rambling on, not knowing how to communicate in this manner, but I mean, I'm figuring it out, and I'll still have haters. I'm sure there's, you know, comments that people are like, what's going on? But yeah, so don't let it deter you, because you will have your fans, and your family, your community, I feel, are your biggest fans. And you'll have new fans and new people who believe in you. And I feel like I believe in you, certainly, because I can see it. Spirit believes in you. Spirit's telling me that you're very special, you know, and I believe Spirit. I can feel it. And I think you know this. I know you know this, and that's why it's so frustrating, because you know that you can do it. You know you have that talent, that ability, and you're very good at it. So